child, we talk about this and we teach our people how to do this and we train on this at the Power Networking Conference. Save one child other than your own. Save one child other than your own. Now, if you're not doing right by your own children, you're not in this equation. Start with them. But most of us are doing right by our own children. Save one child other than your own. What does that mean? With a special emphasis on black boys, and for all the reasons you know. It simply means get a child in and out of high school with a high school diploma, without a jail record or criminal record, and without a baby. That's all. We didn't say send them to college. We said get them in and out of high school with a diploma, without a criminal record, and without a baby. If you do that, you will have laid the foundation for the rest of their life. We ain't even doing that. Cleveland Public School System, we have a 38% graduation. So 2% of our children dropping out of high school. Can you imagine a brother in the 21st century without a high school diploma? Where's he going? To jail. So save one child other than your own. Now you may be saying, Dr. Fraser, who might that child be? Well, it may be your own, or there's not one black person sitting in this audience here this afternoon that does not have some knucklehead nephew, knucklehead niece, knucklehead brother or sister ain't doing right by their children. Save one of them. You don't have to go far outside of your own family or extended family. Save one. Just save one. Most of us have the capacity to do that. In my particular case, I have the capacity to have 2 charter schools saving 300 black kids, 80% are black boys. But that's my capacity to do that. That's what God has given me the residual tools to do. Right? So if you can save more than one, that's wonderful, but we ain't asking that. Save one. The second thing I ask is we think entrepreneurially. That we become a merchant class of people and not a consumption class of people. We can assuage the consuming tendencies by resolving one very bad habit that only black people in America have. Only black people have this habit. A.C. Nielsen came out with a major study last year. I hope you saw it. A.C. Nielsen is a company that rates all television programming. It was a study on Africa, not on African American, but on multicultural consumption of television. Here's what it said about black people. Black people watch 75 hours of television a week. That's 11 hours of television almost a day. Any Negro watching 11 hours of television a day needs their ass kicked, and we're simply waiting for you to die because you ain't about nothing. You cannot be about anything watching 11 hours of television a day, working 8 a day, and sleeping the rest. You ain't about nothing. Don't come to the Power Networking Conference. Don't join the chamber. Because you're stupid. Watching 11 hours of television a day? Oh, please. Negro, please. Now, you heard when I say Negro, that's the title of my next book. It really is. Here's how I spell it. N-E-G-R-O-W. Negro. Please. Please. And you can't do it watching 11 hours. Now, when you watch 11 hours of television a day, you're susceptible to 1,100 commercials. Do you know what happens when you consume 1,100 commercials? Your mind is mush. You are built and you're made into a consumption machine. You are programmed to buy. Because that's what television is designed to do. To do what? Sell. And we're consuming it. 40% more television than any cultural group in the history of the world. Cut back on television. Start year 1. We teach our people how to do it at the conference. Year 1, 3 hours. Reduce it by 3. You still watch 7. Use that 3 for personal growth and development, lifelong learning, or constant never-ending improvement. Second year, reduce it 3 more. Now you reduce it by 6, and you know what you can do with 6 extra hours in your life? You know what you can do with that? You know how you can advance yourself, advance your family, advance your community? So we have to wean ourselves off of television. So we reduce consumption. We think entrepreneurially. We shift from merchant class, from consuming class to merchant class. We do all of this, as we've said countless times, as Aubrey has said, by raising our consciousness. Now, I understand Aubrey's consciousness. He's old school. I'm old school. We grew up with Malcolm in one ear, Dr. King in the other ear, and Smokey Robinson writing the lyrics for our music instead of Lil Wayne. You ever compare the lyrics of Smokey Robinson to Lil Wayne? There is no comparison. We grew up when Gil Scott-Heron was singing, "The revolution will not be televised." When Stokely Carmichael, for the first time in the history of black people in the world, put 2 words together, black and power. When James Brown wrote and sung the iconic song, "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." When we were wearing afros and dashikis, we had a consciousness. We were about the upliftment of black people. That has shifted and changed. We got to get back to the basics. That's a whole another talk. We'll put a pin in that. And you can say that this is part 1. This is the 40,000-foot view of the things that we must begin to process and think about and act on in small ways, understanding that to resolve the challenges in the context of Black America, it will take 5 to 7 generations. It will take about 100 years. We're 30 years into it. So we must be patient. We must be patient. I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that Noah was a drunk. That Abraham was too old. That Isaac was a daydreamer. Jacob was a liar. Leah was ugly. Joseph was abused. Moses had a stuttering problem. Gideon was afraid. Samson had long hair and was a womanizer. Rahab was a prostitute. Jeremiah and Timothy were too young. David had an affair and was a murderer. Elijah was suicidal. Isaiah preached naked. Jonah ran from God. Naomi was a widow. Job went bankrupt. John the Baptist ate bugs. Peter denied Christ. The disciples fell asleep while praying. Martha worried about everything. The Samaritan woman was divorced more than once. Zacchaeus was too small. Paul was too religious. Timothy had an ulcer, and Lazarus was dead. No more excuses. Don't judge people. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. We were born into greatness. We can be and do anything we put our minds to doing. We have demonstrated this for thousands of years, not the 400 years of stumbling during slavery, which we always focus on, but the 7,000 years when we ruled the earth. I want you to take the hand of the person on the left and the person on the right, and I close with a simple prayer. It is a prayer in which we close every Power Networking conference for 15 years. May we always remember those who have gone before us. May we be inspired by their vision and their valor. May their lives continually remind us that service is more important than success, that people are more important than possessions, that principle is more important than power. May whatever we do be shaped and molded by honesty, excellence, and commitment. May our children and our children's children carry forth with pride the nobility of the histories that are represented here in this room and the various traditions that are represented in this room. To the Creator of all of us, by whatever name we may refer to that Creator, we dedicate our lives to make our world better and more beautiful. Can I get an amen? Amen. God bless you and thank you very much. Thank you.